Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. You know, sometimes, Fred, as you've mentioned, take a couple strides back, and the holes don't look so bad, and then that way you're really not, harming the bees or anything else.
And that's true, Mark. I wasn't thinking of that. I know how exasperating it can be when all of a sudden there are holes and things, but that is a factor. I know some people won't buy into that because they're after more perfection. However, Mother Nature is extremely broad in terms of both insects and disease, and sometimes we have to accept a little. Now, it comes to Japanese beetles, and they're coming in hordes. That's another story.
Yeah.
You almost have to stop them. But then again, Japanese beetle, I just found them, I think it was about a week and a half ago, on some of my roses. And I took immediate action thinking that these may be the early arrivals that will then put out a pheromone to call their buddies in. Things like that can be done that are not damaging to other things.
You know, it's interesting, and something that I know that you've mentioned many times, but I saw our friend Melinda Myers on TV this week, and she was saying sometimes instead of spraying, why don't you just give them a good dose of a strong spray of water?
Yeah.
Kind of knock them off, basically, and then watch and see what happens.
Well, now it depends on where Phyllis's morning glories are, but they should have gotten knocked off this week. I drove about 50 miles the other day when it was raining at midday, and I was watching for funnel clouds. It was so dark.
Wow.
The rain was coming down so hard. I had to turn on my flashers and slow down to 30 miles an hour on a 70-mile highway, and that is not my norm.
You measured, what, 2.5 inches?
2.5 inches, yeah.
There were some parts I know around here that got 4, and then, places like Findlay and stuff, they're just, really hurting. So, yeah, a lot of rain this week.
My hometown, Sandusky River, will be on a rampage right now.
I'll bet. Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Howard and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Hi, this is meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. You hear my daily forecast. Now you can check out our podcast about one of nature's most fascinating phenomenon, tornadoes. You'll hear from scientists, storm chasers, and storm survivors. Plus, stories never told before. They're so riveting you can see them in your mind. They can happen anywhere in the world, any day of the year. Don't miss the next episode of Tornado Talk.
Circle270media.com